There's one routine that I follow that did more to my confidence than anything else. Not because it made me feel more motivated, but because it helped me respect myself. For me, that routine was working out early in the morning before I go to work/school. I've been lifting weights before work for about 2 to 3 years now. I was working a physical labor job, I was doing plumbing, and I was going to school, so my body was being broken down a lot. Getting up early before work to work out back then felt damn near impossible. But now I work in IT, so I'm not, beating my body down for 10 hours a day and then getting up really early that next morning. So getting up is fairly easy now. And I do attribute that to myself being more of a morning person than a night bird, if that's the same, a late night bird. But because I'm naturally a morning person, this routine immediately clicked, even on the hard days. Now, I'm not saying exercising in the morning is the most optimal or best way for everyone. But for me, it works. When I first started my weight loss journey, I used to work out around 3 to 4 p.m. And at that time in my life, going to the gym at that time made sense. But I did skip a lot of days. And as a more introverted guy, going to the gym at peak hours didn't help the cause at all. Early in the morning, the gym is quiet, less people, less stimulation, even though they're playing loud music. I think if you're more introverted like myself, just having that environment by itself will help you be more consistent. What really made this routine stick was how it became a part of my morning routine. I set an alarm. I actually have 2 alarms. One at 4:50, and I know that sounds crazy, but I know I'm not going to get up at that one. And then one 10 minutes later. The second alarm isn't a suggestion. I have to get up. And when I get up, I brush my teeth, I wash my face, I get dressed, and I try to leave. I don't try to drag out that process. And I get in a car and I go to the gym. The parking lot is always dark and empty. Even though the gym is playing music, the building's quiet. Most days it feels like the world hasn't even started yet. And then to end my morning routine, I come home, I eat, I shower, and I get ready for work, and then I leave. Same order, same flow, same food, every day. That might sound boring to some people, but for somebody like me who couldn't stick to anything, who lacked self-confidence, having a system and routine helped me build some self-confidence. I am human though. There's some days, especially now, when the alarm goes off, I just cannot get out of bed. And it's not because I'm lazy. It's because it's that little voice in my head that wants safety and comfort. I probably hear that voice probably once or twice a month. Especially now in the wintertime where it's 29, 30 degrees when you leave the house. And I've noticed something. On days where I skip the gym, everything is thrown off. I get out of bed later, I skip breakfast, I move sluggish, I get to work later, everything is just thrown off. It's like it's a domino effect. And it reminds me of this Jocko Willink statement about getting out of bed in the morning. These aren't his exact words, but it goes, "There is no excuse for not getting out of bed, especially with all that rests on that decisive moment. The moment that alarm goes off is the first test. It sets the tone for the rest of the day. The test is not a complex one. When the alarm goes off, do you get up, do you get out of bed, or do you lie there in comfort and fall back asleep? If you have the discipline to get out of bed, you win. You pass the first test. If you are mentally weak for that moment and you let that weakness keep you in bed, you fail. Though it seems small, that weakness translates to more significant decisions. But if you exercise discipline, that too translates to more substantial elements of your life." He says when it's hard to get out of bed in the morning, to keep telling yourself to get up, get up, get up. He's saying fight the voice in your head that wants comfort. That always stuck with me because it does get hard to get out of bed in the morning, especially when you know you have that tough leg day ahead of you. But I do that trick he says and keep telling yourself to get up, get up, get up. And I just throw the covers off of me. And once my body feels that cold air, it tends to wake me up and I can swing my legs out of bed and get up. But I have noticed if I listen to that voice in my head that wants comfort, I listen to it all day. It's a real domino effect. That one mistake turns into 2, turns into 3, turns into a whole day of just mistakes. And then that's when I realized something. My routine isn't about discipline anymore. It's about trust. When I say I'm going to do something, do I actually do it, or am I lying to myself? And when I do the thing that I say I'm going to do, I trust myself a little more. I prove to myself that I can do it. Working out in the morning is a habit now. And it's something I genuinely enjoy doing. So I don't know if I can call it me being disciplined if I enjoy doing it. Because to me, I feel like discipline is doing something that you don't like doing. Like for me, that would be meal prepping and sticking to my diet. That's tough for me. It's diet, it's consistency with my eating, it's working on my communication, even though I know I'm not a great talker. Those are areas in my life where my discipline needs to grow. Because self-respect isn't built on loud moments, it's built on small wins. So if you're like me and trying to become more confident, start with one small routine that you can build confidence in and that you can prove to yourself that you can stick to something. And keep a promise to yourself to do it. This is not for anyone, it's for yourself. Just to prove something to yourself. And once you start with these small wins proving to yourself, that's where our self-respect will start to grow. This is the Mind of Zoe. I'll see you next time.